Well, hello everyone. My name is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we're going to do a little zonker. This one I saw several years ago on a channel out of the UK called UK Fly Fisher. I'll put a link below for it. It's a great fly. I've used it now for I think 2 years now and have had amazing success with this fly. It is a heavier fly because it is weighted. Yeah, let's get going. It's not a hard fly, but not a simple fly either. So let us switch over. So in the vise, let me turn on this light. In the vise here we have a Hends BL 724 in a size 10. Use whatever streamer hook you like, whatever brand. Just make sure it's a good heavy duty streamer hook. I've got a 532 black gunmetal bead on right there. Then I'm going to take some Semperfli, this is the 0.9 mil lead-free wire. And I'm just going to put a little layer of this on here first to start. So I'm just going to start about at the hook point, give or take. Just give her a good tight wrap all the way forward to there. Just helicopter that off. Get a crappy pair of scissors. Nip that off. Usually I just bend it over, but let's just see. Just give that a bend so that stays flat. This one a bend as well. Sorry for my fingers in the way, but I ain't got no nails, so it's kind of a bit more difficult to do, but there. Okay, once you've got that on, add your thread. Now, I'm using nano silk this time. Quite often I'll use classic waxed, and for the main reason is that I do have to build up a little bit here. I do have to build up the back end here. The area where the lead-free wire just went. I want that to be black. I want that as a black underbody. But so it does take a little bit of time of going back and forth with the thread. Create a bit of a thread dam at the back so it can't move forward. And then just kind of zip through it a half a dozen times. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You won't really see it too much, but it's just nice to have this lead covered if you can. But I ran out of classic wax, so that's why I have to go with the nano silk, and it just takes quite a bit longer. So black zonker, rabbit zonker. This one happens to be from Hairline. So, but a zonker strip, and I want it about the length of the hook past, so about there, plus there, and I'm gonna cut it a little long. I do want to cut it, otherwise it just gets in the way. Get that out of the way. Figure out roughly where I want my tail. So my tail is going to be about there. So, just going to split the. I'm wetting it with my finger, just with the tongue here, and wetting my fingers, just to make it a little bit more manageable. And I'm going to lay that down right at the bend there before it goes over around the bend. Nice and tight. 4 or 5 turns. Lift that all up. 2-3 turns. Back down. A couple more turns. Just make sure that's staying up on top, which it now is. Then what I like doing, just holding it out of the way. Okay, so it's good that that's out of the way. So now I'm just going to do a couple more, like I said, just a little bit more. See, it's funny, it's covering a lot better on my side than your side, which is kind of weird, but it is. My side's pretty well almost completely black. Your side's not. That's okay. Like I said, it's not a must. So, okay. Once you're back there, the next material is this chartreuse laser wrap. Okay, it's just kind of it kind of has a little bit of stretch, but not really. Okay, and then you cut it in about a quarter of an inch, maybe a little bit longer, 3/8 of an inch wide strip, and then you cut all these little notches into them. So basically, it's going to end up being, so it's all the way. So it does take a little bit of prep. This one might rip on me here, right here. So let's just, I'm going to actually take that off right now because that one would have ripped on me. Okay, so now I'm going to just take and cut just one section off for a tie-in point. I'll show you once I've got it cut. So I just cut myself just a little tie-in point. Just going to lay that right on this side of the hook. Now I'm trying to keep my fingers out of there so you guys can see, so hopefully it works. Yeah, there we go. And again, with this nano silk, don't tighten too much because it will cut this stuff. Okay. And the reason I want to cover this on all in black is because now I want to put on this opal mirage tinsel. And if you cover it in black, I saw this, like I said, on the UK FlyFishers site, and it's kind of cool because I've actually experimented with doing a green underbody thread, a white underbody thread, black underbody thread. And he's absolutely right. He said that if you cover your body with black and then put this opal over it, it kind of goes green, which is kind of weird, but it does. So, and that's what I want. So I'm just going to do 2 or 3 wraps right at the back to kind of build that to the same height as the rest of it. And then I'm just going to go touching wraps, slightly overlapping wraps. You see how that kind of has that little bit of a green hue to it now? By going over top of the black? It's kind of weird, but it does. So, okay. Tie that off. Cut off your tinsel. I'm just going to get right in there and cut that off. So now this is the part you got to be a little bit careful with because this stuff can have a tendency of ripping. So you just got to be a bit careful when you tie this, when you're wrapping this stuff forward. So now I'm just going to make sure stuff trains the right way. Turn it over. There we go. This first one does not want to sit right there. We go. Okay. And then just touching wraps. Not too crazy tight. And then hold your finger there just to hold it in place. Like I said, this stuff can rip fairly easy. So, and just one more wrap right up front here. And then I'm just going to tie that off. Okay, put that behind, in front. Get in there and cut that off. So, I'm not too worried about that little bit of extra that's sitting there, but I'll try to tie it down just for looks. There we go. Okay, and it's got that kind of it kind of jams out like that, right? Like almost like a hackle. Just turn down the light a bit. So now when you bring this forward, if you see that it's doing what it's doing here, you see how it kind of bunches up there? Take your scissor and actually cut off just the top hackle, if you want to call it that, of this laser wrap. And this can take a little bit, especially if you got vision issues like I do. So just get those ones that are interfering at the back here out of the way. Just cut them out of the way. That's better. So now I'm going to bring this forward, and when I bring it forward, I'm going to lick it again just to make it more manageable. And I don't want to separate it there and then tie it in. I want to tie it in with the hair. So I'm just going to lay it like that and tie it in. It just it gives you a cleaner front end there. You see that? And then I'm going to go in front a couple of times, another 1 or 2 times over top. Cut that as nice and close. A couple of 3 wraps. Now, if you want, you could be done. I like again, just like I saw in the UK Fly Fisher. This is a Peacock, Hens Peacock dubbing that I'm using, and I'm using the number 12. It's kind of got a little bit of greens and blues and blacks in it. I'm just going to put the slightest little bit right at the front here, just as a little bit of a collar. It's more to hide, more for the tire, right? But just to hide that tie-in or cut-off point. So do a 3/4 turn whip finish times 2. Cut off your thread, and then I like taking my brush and just giving it just that dubbing, just a bit of a pull out, just to have some almost flash going through the wing. Then I will see what my length is like, and my length is actually really good. I don't mind that length. If it's a little too long, it would have cut just the leather portion, but I'm actually okay with the length there. So that is the finished fly right there. Like I said, it's a little bit on the heavier side. It's got that real nice flashy underbody that, let's see if I turn this light down, if it won't be as in your face there. So there. It doesn't have a lot of movement, but because of the angles and stuff like that, it refracts a lot of light. So it really gets a lot of attention. And like I said, it's fairly heavy. It's a fairly heavy fly. So yeah, when this thing moves, I mean, it's a zonker, so it'll move really well in the water, and it just has that extra attention. So, all right. Like I said, check out the original. I'll have the link in my description below. Check out the original from UK Fly Fisher. But this is one I've been using for a couple of years, and it's been working quite well for me here in Alberta, and last year in BC as well. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you've subscribed, thank you very much. If you have not, please consider doing so. And once we hit 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to have a really big giveaway. I've been doing some small ones, you know, a book here and a fly line there and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to have a fairly large giveaway once we hit 2,500 subscribers. I think we're at about 1,800 now. And once we hit 2,500, I'll have a bunch of fly tying supplies and like Semperfli stuff, Hends stuff, a copy of my book. I'm hoping, I don't know if I can get one, but I'm hoping for a vise, you know, that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Alrighty. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Tie lines.